All right, one more video, and we're gonna call it quits for the day. All right, what is this thing? It's a, I'm not sure if I gave it away, but there it is. Fuel tank tender, basically a means to raise and lower your fuel tank. All it is a, bended frame rail right here. This metal piece here has a couple locking pins in there. You can adjust it. Swivel casters. Like these bolts that go through the top, I think they stick down too far, so the casters aren't even like turning on that side, or maybe that's by design. But the next ones they freely swivel. So I'm gonna flip those bolts around and put the head of them, because you can see that these ones, they're flipped. These ones are not. So I'm gonna flip them up and get the long stud portion pointed upwards. And then I can even cut them off. But all this is a fancy means of, ball jack. So I do have that from one of my ball jacks, but I think this one is leaking. This one, or maybe it's the next one. One of them has a little bit of play in there. It does have a little bit, just like a ball jack, of screws, or it will screw upwards. Just got to spin it and it will go downwards also. I have it raised, so it's in its full raised position, so it doesn't go very high. I want to say, when I asked the seller, they said 17 inches, but I don't think they knew that you can screw this portion up, because I had to walk them through how to adjust it. They had no idea. But I think one of the seals is compromised on one of them. Let's see. I want to say, I think it's this one. This one has a little bit of play in there. It's still functioning, it goes up. But I think that one is slightly compromised. I think you can, this is obviously welded on here. But let's see if I can, I haven't tried to lower it. I pumped it up, but I haven't tried lowering it. There you go. It's obviously it's best lowered when you have weight on it. There you go. There you can, and you can lock it. These obviously spin once it's not fully locked, or once it's not fully lowered or fully in the up position. They rotate 360 degrees, obviously. And then obviously they're wheels, so they're meant to provide a cushion in the surface. I wished it was slightly wider, but I imagine they did that to provide clearance, which I don't know why. It could have been slightly longer, came all the way out here and provide a little bit more. I don't know, but I guess this makes sense. I guess it does make sense after all. Plus, I imagine you're not going to leave a fuel tank on top of it, but I thought this was handy to have. I know most fuel, I have one of those, I don't know, OTC one that you can use on a transmission jack. But this one, I'm gonna get it power washed with a hot water pressure washer, clean off the gunk off it. Come on. There we go. Clean all the gunk off it, but I imagine like my my Tacoma, where I can't necessarily use it with this lift right here, because it doesn't necessarily fit in the garage especially for long periods of time. And the motion light just went out, so it's a little bit dark. Try to close this valve here. It didn't come with a handle, and now this might be stuck. I might have to hold that and lower it. But anyway, it seems to function. It needs to be cleaned up slightly. It's OTC, so it's quality, but it just needs to be cleaned up, greased. It's an old piece of equipment. I doubt they make anything like this anymore, but come on, light. Here we go. It's an old piece of equipment, but you see, it's definitely dirty. Needs a little bit of TLC, but if you can have a vision for something, you can make it work. It doesn't always have to be new and shiny. But yeah, it's a fuel tank tender. That's what it is. Doesn't matter. I said like, kind of hit the thing.